Thank you so much for joining us, and the Congresswoman and I are really excited about this. Is the first of Breaking Bread, Building Bonds, and we are really excited because we announced this earlier this month, and to date we have approximately 150 hosts and over 200 people who have signed up as participants. And some of them are organizations from all over the city. So it's clear that your neighbors are saying they want to talk. They want to sit down together, and they want to communicate with each other. The response has been amazing. And when we first started out saying we were going to have 100 dinners all over the city with 10 people at the table, people said, Eric, it's not possible. It's a Herculean task. We know that they were wrong. We know it is possible, and you are the first of the 100. We have 99 more to go. Hey. And just some of the partnerships from Rabbi Cohen to my relationship with the ADL and No Place for Hate initiative that we're doing in the city. I believe that this is the way we really start moving our city in the right direction. We're not going to be able to only police away crimes, but we have to do this. We have to sit down at the table and hear from each other and learn from each other. And I'm excited about this initiative as it continues to grow. We all witnessed what has happened in this city for the last few months. Hate crime is on the rise. We saw an incident where we lost a member, one of the great leaders in the Sikh community last year was killed. We've witnessed the attacks on his city community, the swastikas being painted on our walls. We realize the attacks on the LGBTQ community all over the city. A numerical minority has put the numerical majority in a feeling of apprehension and a feeling of fear. We're saying we are not going to live in fear, and we're not going to surrender to hate. We're going to allow ourselves to communicate and to expand on understanding each other. And so breaking bread, building bonds, that is our goal that we're hoping to do and hoping to accomplish. And so I would like to go around the table first, and just if you could introduce yourself and what community you come from, you're part of, and then come back and just give us a brief overview of your community, your belief, or your the foundation to your representation in this city. Does that work for everyone?
Yes.
Sounds like a plan. So we're going to start with you from the Sikh community, okay?
Harpreet Singh Wahan, founding president of Flushing Interfaith Council, as well as Sikh Center of Flushing. So that's what, there is a wise person who brought all the fighting kids of one father on the same table. A father would be very happy. And that's what Eric and his team has done today, to bring all the kids of one God on the same table. And definitely God is very happy today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, namaste. My name is Qazi. I'm from Nepal, which is next to India, and I'm Hindu community. So Nepal is one of the Hindu country, used to be called before only one nation under earth, but after 2006, when the People's Republic, they took over the all monarchy and all that, they took it down that way. But it's still 80% of people, they are Hindu, and they believe in Hindu completely, and still there are so many other religions associated in Nepal, and we always promote and support the peace, no matter what religion they live in the country and everything. So that's all about it.
Namaskar to everybody.
Namaskar.
My name is Acharya Shankar Nandadut, senior monk of Anand Marg. The mission of Anand Marg is self-realization and service to his creation. Human society, and up till now on the earth, nobody built up human society. Have a different color, different nationality, different food habit, different nationality, religion, food, dress, but fundamentally we are one. So our mission to build up one human society, classless, exploitation-free, inversion in outlook. Because fundamentally Lord is one, and we are His creation. So our approach should be new humanistic approach. We love everybody, animals kingdom, plants kingdom, human beings. So human society one. So we are ready to serve the society. We are working on 150 countries, and here also we are after school running school. My dearest Guru Dilip ji is a best friend, and he is just inviting everywhere. And he is on a program in IMSA in New Jersey. So two teams is there. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Rabbi?
My name is Rabbi Eli Cohen. I'm the Executive Director of the Crown Heights Jewish Community Council. And the Jewish religion is founded in the idea that God created the world and gave us a mission and a meaning for every single one of us to live in this world. And of course we're all children of God in that way. And the Jewish religion has been represented in the United States since the Mayflower. There have been Jews in America all the way since its beginnings. And specifically the Hasidic community has been coming to America for at least 150 years, since the mid-1850s. The Hasidic community came from Russia, and since then many others have followed.
Thank you. Congresswoman.
Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, and I represent parts of Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens. I'm a member of the Christian faith, and I thank my good friend Eric Adams for bringing us together. I would like to host the next one in the Brooklyn area, where there's been some anti-Semitic attacks recently with Rabbi Niederman, and others have been involved in that. Two important events are taking place in Congress that I hope the Borough President's very busy, but I hope you can join us on January 27th, which is the 27th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. We will be having a press conference and passing a bill, hopefully, you never know in Congress, there's always fights, that will create a centralized database at the Holocaust Museum on all the lesson plans from kindergarten to college, teaching tolerance and understanding, and creating a grant program that would involve teachers and people talking. And we're having an important hearing on Wednesday, the 29th, on hate crimes. We're calling it domestic terrorism because it's happening to our own people. And I know how busy he is, but I'd love the Borough President to come and testify about this effort of bringing love and peace. This would be all the hate crimes, not just anti-Semitism, but white supremacy, anti-anyone, anti-Christians, anti-blacks, anti-Asians, all these hate crimes that are out there. It's looking at the whole spectrum of it and what we do about it moving forward. I think this is a wonderful first step. It's very inspiring, very religious, and very hopeful to build the bonds and the bridges with all of the different religions and faiths and just everyone, bringing them together. You must have 20 different people here from different faiths. It's really quite remarkable. So thank you. Maybe you can join us and testify to the whole nation on what it is we should be doing to bring people together.
Thank you.
My name is Beena Kothari. I come from the Suffolk County. I am a Human Rights Commission member, as well as I'm presenting Women's Advisory Board also. So I'm totally aware like what's going on out in the world right now. We just had one huge in Nassau County where approximately 4,000 people got together. I think that was 2 days ago. Wow. So, and I come from the, yes, it's wonderful. And that was not only Nassau, it was coming from the Nassau and Suffolk both. So almost 4,000 people, Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. It was amazing numbers. Again, different religions here, but we always say we are under one God. Under one God, different religions. I'm a member of the Jain faith community, and the biggest in Jainism, we follow non-violence. And that's the main key, non-violence, give love, stay in love, and that's the whole things.
That's great.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Felix Guzman. I'm from Crown Heights, Brooklyn. I represent the general interfaith community. I have a Christian background, but I ascribe to humanist and also the perspective of love is everything as my general philosophy of religion. I am representing the formerly homeless and formerly incarcerated in the space, and also the communities that can't be here. And thank you for allowing for me to be at the table, and thank you for everyone working towards removing hate from our communities.
Thank you very much. I think oftentimes when we talk about the different communities and how they're stigmatized, we sometimes don't think about the formerly incarcerated and formerly homeless. And so your voice at the table, and if you have others at other dinners that we could have them at the table as well, we would love that. And so my team is going to speak with you because their voices should be heard as we talk about homelessness, as we talk about those who are formerly incarcerated. We want to hear from those as well. And I think that sometimes when people think of formerly incarcerated, the image of you don't come to mind. The image of someone coming and sitting down at the table, and we want to break all those stereotypes.
I'm Orthodox Hasidic Jewish. I live in Williamsburg. I'm a community activist in Brooklyn and also in upstate New York. And first I would like to thank the Borough President, Mr. Adams, and everyone else who organized this. And I think we all agree, and I listened to the faith leaders that spoke before me, that we are all children of one God. So this is the biggest thing we have in common, and this is the most important thing we have in common. And I would just like to add what Congresswoman said about the Holocaust and genocide education in Congress. That it's important to educate. It's also important to educate the pre-Holocaust area. How did the Holocaust happen? You know, the discrimination, the scapegoating, the generalizing. This should also be a part of the education. And to that effect, I would like to bring out a point that what we feel that Martin Luther King told us that judge people by character individually, right? This was Martin Luther King's main message for the people, and we feel that this attitude does not apply to us, especially in the press, in the New York press. So we hope we can, we can make this better. So anyway, thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm Adrian. I work for the Congresswoman. I'm a New Yorker, born and bred. I'm a Reformed Jew. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Zionist. A whole lot of things. And I think one of the most important things that I've learned from Judaism is the set of morals that they teach. And you might not be Jewish, you might not be anything, you might be Christian or Jain, but I think what we can all learn from the morals taught in Judaism is that we need to, when something needs to be stood up for, we need to stand up for it, and we need to have a clear sort of path and do the right thing regardless of the religion that we are. And there's a clear crisis happening in New York City and around the country, and I think we're all here to act upon it and try to figure it out.
My name is Swami Radeshwaranand. I'm from Divine Light Awakening Center. We are operating in Jamaica, Queens, serving the tri-state area. We have more than 500 branches all over the world. Our master's philosophy is to know yourself, because only by knowing the self, peace can be established in your life. And if you are peaceful, that's what you will offer the world. So the bottom line is, if we're not peaceful ourselves, no matter what we say and what we do, we will only give the world what we have. So become peaceful and know who you are at the spirit level, not at the mental level, not at the physical, not at the religion level, not at the race, country, color, creed, but at the soul level, that we are children of God and we are part of the same divine power that everyone has in them. And he who doesn't know himself doesn't know anything. So that's the philosophy we work with, and we serve humanity at the physical level. We teach yoga, mental level, teach meditation, and so much youth has been helped who was, they were in depression, some of them were even suicidal. But when they were given seminars and taught meditation and they started practicing it, they are preaching others today. So I think if we work at an individual level and help them so they can go out and help others. So that's what we try to do.
Beautiful.
And different religions, different color of people, they unite and they sit under one roof and they meditate and better their lives.
Thank you.
My name is Imam Qazi Muhammad Abdul Kayum. I'm from Bangladesh, and I represent Muhammadi Community Center right here in Jackson Heights. And our center is the first center after 9/11 we established in 2005 to work against terrorism, radicalism. Unfortunately, that's what's happening around the world. And I represent a Muslim community of Jackson Heights, and our message is spread everywhere in the world. We hold interfaith prayers at Jackson Heights Jewish Center, Mr. Steve Nobel, who is my friend, and we spread the message to rest of the world. Look, Muslims and Jews and everyone while in America work together. Why you guys are fighting over there? And I joined anti-Semitic program offered by Congresswoman Caroline last summer, and it was a great program. And I joined many interfaith program. I was invited at the United Nations to give speech on a program in 2015. And I'm working for the community, interfaith community of Jackson Heights, because we say a message that when everyone is fails, interfaith hails. When everyone is fails, interfaith hails. So on that regard, Swami Vivekananda, who started the interfaith mission in America a long time ago, this interfaith is continuing. We all are working on that. And in this table, while I'm sitting here, my friend Chauhan, who invited me here, is a great kind of mentor of mine. Where is he? Okay. So it is the one of the greatness of the United States that we're sitting here. And I'd like to thank to Borough President and all who are here, my interfaith colleagues. And hopefully we'll work together more further for the peace, to prevail peace in not only in the community, beyond our community, to the America or to the rest of the world. Thank you very much. And I was very happy to be invited here and join all of us on this special and auspicious discussion. Thank you.
My name is Alexander Rosenberg. I'm the Director of Community Affairs at the Anti-Defamation League of New York and New Jersey. I want to thank the Borough President for convening this first of 150 now. It's not 100 anymore. It really does resonate with the message that we've been, I don't want to say preaching at this table, but certainly conveying to the community as we are asked what to do about the crisis that we're living and experiencing in our city and in our state, in our neighboring state of New Jersey as well. It's just not enough, as we say, to police our way out of what's happening. It requires education, and we've tried to take care of that through implementing anti-bias education in 40 new schools throughout Brooklyn specifically. Over 283 schools in New York State, affecting 186,000 students. And 21,000, I believe, will be affected in Brooklyn specifically when the program is all said and done. But thirdly, I think, is the third leg of that tripod is this. It's building bridges and dialogue. The first two without the third one, and sort of creating acceptance and not tolerance, which is, I think, a fundamental message. tolerance is something you do with someone you hate, but are forced to live with. Whereas accepting is something you do with someone that you consider an equal. And I think in our communities that's something that's been lacking, that is the ultimate goal of anti-bias education, is to teach acceptance. So I think this is certainly something that will build upon that concept, and hopefully by the end of the 100 dinners we'll have a much bigger bridge upon which to walk on than the 25,000 people that walked to Brooklyn nearly a few weeks ago.
Hi everyone, it's an honor to be in such company tonight. And my name is Mary Uter. I am a former cardiac ICU nurse for the city at Bellevue Hospital. And I am an honorary Brooklynite because my boyfriend lives in Sheepshead Bay. So I spend a lot of time in Brooklyn. He's also Jewish. So I've gotten to walk along with him on what it feels like to be Jewish and to be a part of the community that one of the communities that's having hate crimes against it. And I don't feel that because I'm not walking in those shoes. So this is a very interesting journey for me. We had a conversation, some of us a little sidebar earlier tonight, on how we look at each other through filters. And those filters are through our life experience. But what also happens is we have judgments. And I think that having been a nurse, taking care of drug addicts, the homeless, people of all nationalities, people from wealthy to the homeless, what it comes down to is we don't know what happened in someone's life to cause them to be where they are. And treating someone with kindness, respect, courtesy goes such a long way. And I'd also like to put a little plug in. I left my position and started my own business, which is called Heart to Soul Cardiac Wellness. The goal is to prevent cardiac disease, because we discharged people from the hospital. You've had a heart attack, you've got stents in your chest now, you have a bag of medication and a follow-up visit. You're walking into an abyss. What do I do? How do I change my life? And cardiac disease is the #1 cause of death in our country, along with diabetes. It's hand in hand. And it's reversible. It's 80% preventable. This year, or every year, the CDC says approximately 650,000 people will die from it. That's 30 Madison Square Gardens full of people. And 80% of those people, it could have been prevented. So cardiac disease is the #1 cause of death, and there's no reason it should be when it's preventable. And part of it is a vegan lifestyle, which I know you're a big proponent of. So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ken Marable. I first like to thank Eric Adams and Carol to organize this event. I sit back and I'm amazed at all of the religious leaders and groups that are sitting in one place and recognize that living in Brooklyn, in Crown Heights, you have all of these groups, but we're so segmented. And this is the first time that I think I've really, as a Christian, been around so many different people, and as I look at each person, they look like me. And I recognize that everyone has probably the same thoughts about helping your family as well, and hoping those people that they love will progress, and recognizing that if they made a mistake, that someone will forgive them. I'm the president of the Lincoln Civic Block Association. I'm so cool to see. And our organization has been around since 1956 in Crown Heights, and I can tell you that I've seen change. I've seen people love each other and work together. And I've seen people, some people, not all people, not like each other. Not like each other. I don't want us to say hate, because they don't know you have to know somebody to hate. But you can certainly not like. And I've seen change, and it's my hope that this will be the beginning of that change. That when we go to church, when I go to my Baptist church, I can recognize that I can be with someone in the Jewish faith or Muslim faith. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, well said.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Thank you, Borough President and my chairman and Congresswoman. Thank you very much. My name is Shahid Khan, and I'm a land from a country who is fighting the last 40 years war against terrorism from Pakistan. So I came here as a refugee and asylee in this country, and today I just completed my 10 years in this country. I came in 2010, and how I live here and how immigrant and asylee people live here. So this is a very long story, and maybe we will discuss further on. And I'm also a member of Community Board 14, Brooklyn, from Coney Island Avenue, Little Pakistan. And I'm also the vice chairman of 70th Precinct Tea Council, which we just started last year with the 70th Precinct is also on Coney Island Avenue. And actually we are working on children, youth and education. Education means the Urdu language program. And Borough President is the eyewitness of our education program, our Urdu and Pakistani Culture Center and Urdu language program. And one more thing that I just want to share with you, there is no words, like two words are not in the Borough President dictionary, is impossible. I am possible. Borough President always use I am possible. He never use impossible, number one. And number two, he always breaking bread, but also breaking wall. He never established a wall between the faith, religion, communities. He always tried to break the wall. And one last thing that I just want to share with you, that we also want to need some dialogue, stigmas, hate crime within the community, not generally, but also within the community. Because Borough President also one of the participants when we met with the Pope Francis at Harlem. You were also there. I was also there as a refugee and met with Honorable Pope Francis. But when I came back in my community, so I have a lot of stigmas. I have a lot of hate. Mr. Khan, you are meet with the Pope? Are you a real Muslim? So that's why I think we also need to discuss these things within the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well said.
I'm Guru Dilipji. Currently, I'm the secretary for the religious NGOs at the United Nations. I just became last month. I started my activities in New York, start from Fort Greene. I brought yoga to the UN, made it breaking the wall for the public. It was under Hindu religion. Now anybody can practice around the world. That was my passion. It made it. I born in an interfaith family. Father is an Orthodox Christian. We are the first family converted to Christianity from Hindu tradition. We have bishop. Imam is a Hindu. 6 years back when they married, both kicked out from the family, I born. So I went through hate crime and insult from my childhood. I never hate those people. I believe they are ignorant. So I educate myself. I am ready to learn. I expand myself. I know spirituality exists in the universe by birth, but religions are man-made according to the situation in different eras. All cultures are wonderful. I believe we have to educate children from childhood, so that way they will open up. So now I am putting interfaith events last 35 years in 86 countries, bring people like this. I'm so proud of you, I meet you guys from different events. I think we are chosen people and divine people on the earth. We are able to make the change through this type of dialogues. Even once I had a meeting with Mother Teresa in early 90s. I asked her a question. Do you want to tell me something for my future? I give a smile to everybody. A smile can change the world, I believe it. You know, I make friendship with people and never hate them. But I won't forget what they did. I remember those things. I always keep one eye on the back of my head. I know we never know people stab from the back. Fine, they're ignorant. Still we go forward. This is my message. Love all for all.
Thank you. We were joined by, we're going around, just identify how you self-identify and just your thoughts.
Okay. Hi, I'm April Jones. I'm from the South Bronx. I'm an activist. I definitely is alarmed about all the violence that's going on. We have to start with the children, teaching them first to start how to interact. You know, I'm in the South Bronx. I'm in a very bad little rural area, you know, but we live together, all races, you know, so trying to get us together is the best thing that we can do. The unity is needed because, I mean, just did, like, you can get upset over the littlest thing. Like, I was just upset because I couldn't find a parking spot. And the man was so rude because he could have let me park, but he wouldn't. And then I looked at that and I was like, I could have escalated it, but this is what we need to learn, how to not escalate that little, and you know, like, oh my God, you know, you want to strike out, you want to say something harmful because that's another race, or that's, you know, a female or male, or people have their own quirks on everything. So this, when I heard about Mr. Adams doing this, let me go and see if you know, because like all nationalities, all races, all backgrounds have to come together with this. It's not going to be one class of people, we're going to be great and it's going to be smoothed out. No, all class of people got to come together with this because it's getting bad. I mean, me as a black woman, African female woman, I don't want to see another female, I don't care what color she is, being dragged, punched, kicked, or anything else.
Right.
You know, and that's just how I feel. You know, I go around to different organizations, I put my input, I do programs if I can to help the youth, you know, in the South Bronx, in Brooklyn, with different leaders, or, you know, activist leaders. You know, I don't want to mention names, but I'm all over the place because this has to be addressed not just by, you know, the color of your skin, where you live, what's your background. It's got to be addressed overall, you know, and I felt very, you know, honored to come and to participate because you need to know how we feel. Like, I'm Tilden Projects, okay? I'm 3rd Avenue, 170th, Mount Eden, you know, everybody, oh, I'm not going to them areas. All those areas got to come together with this because it's not going to work otherwise because the hate is so widespread to every borough. I mean, I've driven Uber all up in Connecticut and everywhere, and I catch different attitudes, but you have to learn how to just diffuse it. We could all come together and learn like a diffusing mechanism. Like, you know, like if you say you don't curse, I don't try not to curse. I say, oh, what the fudge, or what the hotel, you know. It's a mechanism we have to try to implement to every race, every person, even our children. Start from the babies up, or it's just not going to be useless. And that's all.
And if we could just all say we agree together. Again, there's nothing religious about it. It's just it's just an agreement that we're making among each other. And so if we could read it together, those of us who would like to join, and let's start off. We agree.
We agree.
There's a lot we may not agree on. In sitting down, we choose to agree on this. I will grant you welcome, and I would thank you the welcome you grant me. I will show up, be present, and be open to creating this experience together. I will speak and listen with truth and love, agreeing or disagreeing with respect and kindness. And so, in ceremony of the name of our event, I want to break bread as we continue the conversation. I know somewhere I saw this in the Jewish faith.
Should we do the hamotzi over
Okay,
the bread?
you tell me. You lead the way, young person. Now, explain, because the moment, the event here is for us to learn. And so I want you to explain to us what we're about to do, okay?
Well, maybe the rabbi.
Rabbi? Okay, Rabbi Cohen? Okay.
So, when I...
Oh, this bread smells good.
I'll just explain and we'll let the Borough President do the job. But that was a great suggestion. So, obviously when any food we eat, we recognize that it comes from God above. And so we make the blessing which says, "Blessed are you, O God, King of the universe, who has brought forth bread from the ground." And I'm sure that the young lady who suggested it will, do you want to say it?
Sure.
Go, you can stand up.
Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
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 And we're supposed to tear off a piece and pass it around. So
Okay.
I'll start.
Please.
Thank you. I love that.
I love it. That's what it's about, sharing and caring together, right?
That idea was Stephanie's idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so while we're passing it around, because it's about understanding, so I'm just going to ask some questions and we can just go around with an answer. Of those of you who practice some form of religious belief, what do you call your religious place of worship? What do you call?
Gurudwara, the door of the Guru, where the enlightenment comes in, where you get the enlightenment, and where the Guru, the little word Guru means one which eradicates the ignorance and darkness and enlightens you with the knowledge and wisdom.
This is for me. In our Hinduism, we call the temple, which is Mandir. So in Nepal, there are many different type of like name of the god. So we believe in the Gita, which is called the Bhagavad Gita. Most of you know. Rajasam is called the Saraswati, which that's for the power of the education and stuff like that. And few other many name of the goddess. So we call up on the name, and we do differently with the worship and all that. So eventually what we do is we worship together for the peace most of the time. So Nepal is the only Hindu country we always support and promote two other faiths and beliefs and other religions also with no crime. They don't hate each other at all. They don't fight against the religions and faith. So that's the beauty of it. I like it. And same thing we do over here. We have almost 400,000 Nepalese people living in the United States. In New York City alone, it would be around 80,000. So those people, we go to the temples whenever those kind of occasion comes, like Ganesh temple in Flushing, we go. And even I go to Gurdwara sometimes. So I have no objection on that. Even I have been some masjid sometimes. So that's the beauty of our in the community.
Your place of worship.
Anand Marg Yoga and Meditation Center. The main objectives of Anand Marg, self-realization and service to his creation. So we are working in 150 countries. Wherever the drought, cyclone, earthquake, our team must be there within 24 hours. So according to our master, up till now there is no human society built up on this earth. So we are working for that, to build up one universal society having different color, different nationality, different food habit, different religion, race, but fundamentally we are one. We are educating, we are dedicated workers, monks of Anand Marg. We teach a Raj Yog, Sahaj Yog, Visej Yog, personally, according to his personal sentiment, psychology, because everybody are not same. So we're teaching according to psychology, according to development of built instinct. So we take personal care to everybody, just like mother taking care of the child.
Okay.
It is a free teaching. Anytime you can call, 24 hours, we are ready for service.
Okay, so we want to know your place of worship. What is it called?
Anand Marg Yoga Society and Meditation and Yoga Society.
Okay.
We call it in Greek, it's called a synagogue. In Hebrew, it's called Bet Knesset, a place of gathering. And it's also considered to be Bet Mikdash Katan, which means it's a miniature of the sanctuary, the temple that stood in Jerusalem for hundreds of years, back about 2,000 years ago.
The Christian Protestant church, we call it the church, where we go to pray and to be together, usually on Sunday morning. Sunday mornings always, sometimes later in the day too.
In Jainism, we call temple. So most of, in India or world, wherever you go, mostly Hindu, Jainism, all the different religions, they have the temple. So again, like he explained, temple meaning like, there are different gods. Yes, in Hinduism also we have a different god, but again, everybody have one motto. We have a non-violence, we have a truth, we do for the non-stealing and non-attachment. So there are certain things, once we are at the temple, we follow these. And again, thank you so much bringing the bridge and breaking that. And I always see her on TV. I always see her on TV. And I'm just like, really, I'm sitting here? Yes.
Thank you.
So we all have the same
Yes.
photo today. Thank you.
Hi, Felix.
Thank you to Dilipji, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Being of Christian background, but also having interfaith understanding and welcoming of ideas and precepts. Churches, obviously, but I'm also a humanist. I promote that above anything else: morality, integrity, and love. So I like to think of it, for me personally, to localize my religious faith or spiritual belief, the church of the heart, the church of and in the wild. Thank you.
Yeah, it's called synagogue or Bet Midrash, and I want to make a point that which is inherently part of Judaism, that all good people, even non-Jews, will share afterlife, and this is part of the human part of Judaism. I mean, this goes back thousands of years. This is not a new concept, and that all decent people, even non-Jewish people, will share afterlife like the Jewish people.
Thank you.
Hi, I go to Tabernacle Church, and we worship, we praise. We try to instill in any and everyone that comes in our church to have peace and love, and to love your neighbor, and that's important.
Our center is called Bhavan, which means a place made out of devotion to practice devotion. So everyone come, once you have devotion, then you can overcome anything in life, and you can eradicate any differences among people and races and religions, and everyone sit under one roof and devote themselves to God.
Thank you. In Muslim and Islamic faith, the worship place called, in general it's called masjid, but it's also called jame, also called musalla. Jame means as a huge scale of the building, and masjid is in the regular worship place, and musalla is the small worship place. Indeed, Prophet Muhammad advised us, I gave you a gift to you, all the part of the world is a space of worship. You can pray anywhere, not any specific spaces. That's why we hold one of our Eid prayer in Jackson Heights Jewish Center, remember a few years ago, to give the message of interfaith relations. We can, as a Muslim, we can pray in Hindu mandir, we can pray in church, you can pray in temple, you can pray in the plain, you can pray anywhere when the prayer times come. So there's a beauty of things of the prayers. And there are two kinds of masjids. Prophet Muhammad, he was very strict against terrorism since he started his mission in 632. So one mosque we found in the Quran, one mosque is called Masjid al-Zirar. I mean, some of the mosques established with the wrong purpose, with the meaning of terrorism. And Quran says one mosque was burned down by Prophet Muhammad because it was built by the wrong intention. So as a activist of interfaith against terrorism and radicalism, when I work, I found there are some kind of mosque. Unfortunately, when they don't understand Islam properly, they will start some mess around. So we have to fix it through interfaith dialogue, interfaith relations, and talking and discussion. So in general, our worship place is called mosque. Thank you. And I like to thank our friend Dilip Chauhan, who brought here together, and so we can learn from each other. And I thank him earlier, and I'm thanking again on behalf of all our congregation here. Thank you very much, Mr. Dilip, that you did a good job.
I really can't repeat myself already. I'm also of the Jewish faith, and aside from naming the place of prayer, I wanted to say that I personally live by what we refer to as the Golden Rule, which is Rabbi Hillel, I believe, was asked if you had to condense the entirety of Scripture of the Jewish faith in one single phrase, what would you do? And he said, it's very easy. Treat your neighbor as you want to be treated. And so that's known in the Jewish faith, and I believe in society in general, the Golden Rule. And that's principally what I try to live by.
In the Christian faith, too. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's right. Wow, okay.
Well, piggybacking on exactly what my neighbor just said, this was a very hard question for me because I don't have a place of worship. I was raised Roman Catholic, but I segued out of that in high school, and I would have to say my place of worship is my yoga mat. And why is that? Because it promotes massive self-awareness, and it promotes you to be a better person and to get in touch with yourself. And I do believe that we all need to be the light for others.
So I'm Christian, and my place of worship is a church. And typically we have a greeting of namaste. And that's, I guess, really all I can say.
Yep. Khan?
Actually, we go to mosque, which is in English word, and Urdu in masjid. So we go to prayer for 5 times in a day. But on Friday, we have a special prayer at afternoon, in which you are always come. Sometimes you come to and attend our public gathering, the mosque, Makki Mosque. So basically, we have 5 prayers. One special prayer on Friday in afternoon, and we can offer a prayer in church or Gurdwara or synagogue. But that is mostly unconditionally. Like if you are earthquake, you have a flood, you have a natural disaster, and you are able to go to your mosque, or so that's why you can go and arrange your prayer in synagogue
or in church, gurdwara, temple.
Okay, our tradition is more with the ashrams, a spiritual center. You go and live. But here for us very hard because we had to work with the community. So we have centers. Every Thursday we have meditation group at the UN. Every Tuesdays we have yoga group. Second Sunday interfaith. That is going on last 20 years in different boroughs and festivals. We have cultural, spiritual, earth-related, environmental issues. We have different festivals. We come together, pray together, eat together, dance together, music, sing and dance. I think life to celebrate. We have a short life. Be productive. That is my philosophy. We are trying.
I like that.
So we're gonna go around for one more. People often see something you wear and they don't understand it. So if it's applicable, can you talk about something you wear, your turban, what's the meaning behind it, your hat, your garment, your black hat, your bib. So something we want to better understand, your attire. So if you could explain that as well.
So wherever a Sikh in the world is, you can recognize with couple of things. One, he will always have a Singh in his name. Male will have a Singh and the female will have a Kaur. Singh means a lion and the Kaur means a princess. Besides this, we have been given 5 Ks, 5 distinct symbols. Why we have been given these symbols? Because to ensure that you stand out and you are dutifully bound to speak up for the oppressed, to speak up for the people who cannot speak. A turban can be recognized in 1 million people, unshorn hairs, where you don't have to, we cannot shave over hairs from any parts of the body. Hairs are the spiritual antennas which we believe in. We have a special bracelet which is asking us that we accept the slavery of God, meaning every time we have to be duty bound to one God in all. We have to see in Hindu, in Christian, in Muslim, we have to recognize one God in all. We have a special undergarment, which means that we have to ensure that we can have sex with only one woman, and that's your spouse. Similarly for the spouse also. And we have a very special dagger. Every Sikh is signified. It's very beautifying meaning of that. That the meaning of the dagger itself is kirpa and an, kirpan. You have to ensure that so you have to ensure that you speak up for anything. If there is an anti-Semitic attack on the Judaism, then you have to speak up also. I share my parking with our synagogue across the street, Temple Gate of Prayers. We have 6 centers of Flushing right across each other, and we are neighbors like this. And Rabbi Mark Biller, I should have brought him also over here, and he's a very good friend of mine, and we often share breads together.
When do you carry the dagger? When do you get the dagger?
So we all have the dagger right here. We get it from our Gurudwara. It's a small symbolic dagger, which means kirpa and an. We ensure that you do kirpa on others. Kirpa means you do. You help others who are downtrodden, who are being oppressed. If you see somebody is being attacked, you cannot stay quiet. It is mandatory for you to speak up, whether it was a Hindu 500 years ago, 300 years ago, or whether it was a Muslim in this time, or whether it is a Jewish in these times. You have to speak up, whether it was black 50 years back. So when MLK said, coincidentally we are celebrating MLK Day today, when MLK said that we have to ensure we all are one creed itself and that was the dream he was looking at. He was simply reiterating the words 500 years back, which were said, Manas ki jaat sabhe ek hai pehchan wo. All recognize all human race as one. Thank you.
Wow. Now it's my turn. So, being a Nepali is not, there is no competition between us, but the way he has on the head, and we all the time has this one too. Whoever comes this type of hat on the head, like everybody knows that person must be from Nepal. There's no doubt about it. No, it's just a unique. So that's the symbol of Nepali, people. They always wear the only for the male though. By the way, this is for the female doesn't wear this kind of hat. So whoever see this kind of hat right on the head, so it means that must be from Nepal. So that's our symbol. And another one you see over here, this is two big knives. They're crossing each other. It's called the Kukri. This is the real weapons they use when anything fight or war happens. But this kind of these days, that's useless anyways. They use remote control thing, and so because of that. But that may be the reason Nepal never had a Independence Day. So British left away, and they were not able to attack when they attacked India, but they forgot to attack Nepal because they're scared with the Kukri. So that's the knife, you know what I mean? So these are the symbols, and we always wear. And this dress is also unique. It's only Nepali people wear it. It's the male dress. So that's about it.
Yanandmar, anybody can join yoga, having different lessons. So there is no difference between the male, female. All are divine beings. Nobody inferior, nobody superior. So we teach meditation everybody free of cost. It is not commercial. And we are dedicated monks. We are not married. So we took dedication, we sacrifice our life, everything for the cause of establishment of one human society on this earth, free from all type of exploitation. Because the C-grade people controlling economic and political power around the world, what they think not to speak, what they speak not do. So C-grade people creating problems throughout the world. So C-grade people must be replaced by B-grade. Who is the B-grade? What they think not to speak, but what they speak they do. So C-grade must be replaced by B-grade. And B-grade also replaced by A-grade. What they think must speak, what they speak they do. This is our mission, to establish Raj Karega Khalsa Aapki Rehna Koi. If the moralist of the world, not morality, spirituality and morality should go side by side. So morality is the base, intuition the way, life behind the goal. So we have to build up change in the world. So we need young blood, they have surplus energy, they need guidance, training, love. So we are working for everybody. Because up till now, moralists of the world not united. The moral people united. They are sucking the birds of human society in the name of religion, in the name of so many things. But we have to bring the good people, moralist, dynamic, who can establish one classless exploitation-free human society on the earth. That is my mission. This turban indicates responsibility. I took responsibility. 24 hours working for one human society. This saffron coloring, it means in case I have no any personal desire. For the welfare of everybody, Sarjan Hitaya, Sarjan Sukhaya. Everybody happy, everybody happy. Physical fitness, mental alertness, inner peace, we teach. Whether you go church, you go mosque, or Gurdwara, I have no objection. But body is a God-made temple. Now mandir, now masjid, na Kabe Kailas re, man mandir mein dhuro re मूर्ख प्रभु है तेरे पास. के भेद भाव में सारा जन्म गंवाया रे, कर ले सबसे प्यार जगत में कोई नहीं पराया रे. तुझ में राम सब में राम समाया रे, कर ले सबसे प्यार जगत में कोई नहीं पराया.
Thank you.
Message of love. Message is to love everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone has a God inside. That's what the message is.
Love it.
Thank you.
So, just to explain quickly, and please nobody should feel I'm being rude. I have to leave because
Yes.
I promised the nice local man over here that I would only sit in his driveway for 20 minutes. And now I'm already there an hour. And one of the laws of the Torah is that you have to keep your word, right? So I'm going to have to, but very quickly, just two symbols of the Jewish faith and the many we carry. The dress is more conservative. We don't run after the fashion of the time. This is very important. The beard symbolizes the grace of God, that the points of the beard are connected to the God's attributes of mercy. And we also wear the tzitzit, which is the strings on the side. That's in the Bible. It says that you will see these strings and remember God's, it's on all four corners of the garment, so whichever way you turn, you remember God's law. So those are three quick symbols, and again, please excuse my rudeness if I have to leave.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We often wear a cross, a symbol of our religion, Jesus Christ. He's crucified on the cross.
In India, we have multiple religions over there, and the traditional outfit in India is like for women, sari, perfect example today, and men's wear like some sort of like a kurta and pajama. So this is like a very common, and like my mom still follow in this country also wear the same outfit. The only difference when normal human become a monk, monk meaning, I'm sure many of those knows we are like Hindu monk or Jain monk, then they change their outfit. Then they comes with different colors, especially in Jainism they wear the white color, and it's very tough religious. Once you become a monk, you do not sleep on bed. You sleep on a floor, and you give up all these luxury things. You just walk from 1 mile, one village to another village to another village. You do not have any particular home. You do not have a family. So again, we come with the whole word is a family. Wherever you can get the food, you eat, or whoever gives you the clothes, you wear, and then you walk to different town. So that is the Hinduism and Jainism.
Hi, Felix. As a person with Christian background, obviously it's the cross. Because there's so many denominations, that's a point of contention. As a community organizer, I'm pretty much flexible on shows of solidarity, support, acceptance, and tolerance. For me personally, to localize how I show up and show out religiously, I have two wristbands that I wear that talk about being a lifesaver and also building people, not prisons. And that's the foundation of Christianity. One of the sacraments is healing of the sick and also taking care of the poor. Thank you.
Yeah, Moses, the hat and the long coat we wear is just a tradition. Somewhere, someplace, long time ago, my ancestors were, this was the dress of the nation, of the culture, even the non-Jewish culture. Maybe you could use Abraham Lincoln used to have like this. And tradition is an important part in Orthodox Judaism. To remember where we came from. So that's why we wear this suit and this big hat. The beard, I guess, is in the Bible. So.
Hi. Like I said, Pentecostal. We pray. Prayer warriors. Praying is how you get in touch with your God. We constantly get into praying and teaching our children to pray, because religion has really gotten away from African American families as well as in every other family, and that has to be implemented, because if that's no foundation of God, there's no foundation of a person, because like they're hollow. I see it every day, and people, to me, I look at them and I'm like, they don't know God. You know, you got to know God personally and through prayer, and that's with me, prayer. And you know, I'm very plain black woman, African American woman, very plain. I love my sneakers, my hoodies, my sweats. I wear that because I'm in the hood, you know, but I'm not of the hood. You can live anywhere, but be the person that you are. You know, if you have God in you, in your heart, and that manifests in what you do. It's not just the way you talk, it's how you walk, and people that you get yourself affiliated with, you know. And as an African American woman, I value who I affiliate myself with, especially if it's something to generate something for my community. You know, I stick close to the Democratic Party. I am a Democrat. I'm a fighter. You know, if it's a cause, I don't care if Democrat or Republican, if it's a cause that I feel as though I'm passionate with, and if it's harming my community, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to march, I'm going to hold a picket sign, I'm going to show up, you know, and that's part of me being an African-American woman. I show up, and I think that by we having struggles, and I don't have just, like you have, can't put the word, like, I have a lot of like they say, racism. I'm an African American. I'm a black woman. I live in a poor domestic neighborhood, you know. So you would put a stack. This is all her. So we're not going to affiliate, or we're not going to associate, or we're not even going to take that person seriously. But these are the people that you need to reach, because if you don't reach some people, these are the ones you're scared of. Oh, look at them, because just because of their outfit, you know. I can look like the girl around the block because I live around the block and I'm comfortable, but I can go to any block because I know how to treat people. And in my religion, we learn to treat others as you want to be treated, you know, and to love your God, you know, whomever that is, you know, and prayer, like I said, being a prayer warrior, that's a connection with God. And once you have a connection with God, everything else starts in play. How you walk, how you talk, how you act, if you know God. We got a lot of ungodly people running around, that's all I can say. That's
it. This is saffron color, orange, which signifies fire. When one becomes sannyasi, meaning gives up the worldly affairs and serve God and humanity, they wear this color. My guru, my master, gave me this color, and at the time I took an oath that I will give up my own desires and wishes and life and serve humanity. So when you wear this color, you take an oath, you will not marry, you will live for humanity, you will serve humanity. And it's not a job, there is no salary for it, it's just a pure service. So you become a servant of God. And this is just signifies that you burn your own desires. So it's not the color you wear only on the outside, but you actually wear that on your mind and soul, and you live by those rules. So I took that oath 16 years ago, and I'm following that until the last breath I take.
So how do you survive?
Once you serve others, God will take care of you. So food, people bring it. Clothing, they give it. I don't wear fashion, so this is all I need.
I am member of the family, no? We are the member of the family.
Me too.
You are my brother. She is my sister. So this is a universal family, I believe, one universal family.
In Islam, actually, Muslims follow the dress, the way of wearing of dress by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Because he was not a long time ago, he was just 1400 years ago. So Muslim people look for what kind of dress he used to wear. In general, he preferred the white dresses. And also he didn't give any specific that you have to wear that kind of dress. But there is some areas that you have to cover your body. Like when you pray for the male and for the females, you have to cover whole parts of your body. Of course, your private parts and all the things you have to cover. And men's and women's are different dresses. But there is not any particular dress that he prescribed that you have to that way. That way you see the Muslims in Pakistan, they wear one kind of dress. Muslims in Bangladesh, they wear different kind of dress. Muslim in Arab, they wear different kind of dress. And also for the head, there is no any specific. Prophet Muhammad, he wear green color, he wear white color, he wear black color sometimes. So people wear all these things. And this particular hat that I bought because it doesn't has to be to wear like something like that because this kind of dress is for the Imam. Most of the Imam people wear this, so I'm wearing this. So to be a little bit professional Imam like that, but it's not any precisely that you have to have that kind of things, you know. So any dress you can wear, despite of the women of the weather. Like if you weather, you can wear cold dress. If there's no wear, you can wear you can wear any kind of dress. But thing is, you have to cover your body fully. And for the men and women, there is prescribed part that you require. Okay, thank you.
So even though I'm also of the Jewish faith, I'm not dressed similarly to Moses or Rabbi Cohen. However, I do perform certain rituals that obligate me to do certain things related to dress. One thing is the head covering or the kippah, which is a sign of devotion to God and also to inferiority to God, meaning nobody's above God. Another thing that all males wear every single day of their lives, or are supposed to anyway, is something called Tefillin. And Tefillin is, you will see them often, they're two little black boxes. One is worn on the opposite arm that you're able, basically. So if you're lefty, you wear on your right arm, and the opposite is true. And it's a sign that you have to keep God in both your mind and your heart. The box is supposed to approximate the arm the closest to the point of the heart as you possibly can.
Well, I've learned so much tonight. I want to thank everybody. My yoga mat is where I show up. This is my culture. But what I do want to say, what I've learned and what I believe is that we are all under one umbrella, whether it be God or spirit or whatever. We come to it in different ways. I do see that people do stay in communities, and I think community is important when you have this type of religious and cultural background, but it's equally as important to assimilate. So tonight is assimilation for me to see all of you, and I learned a lot, and I think it's great to, and it will prevent hate when you come out and say, wait, I learned so much. The bracelet, the dagger, which I'd like to see later. But, this was really great. And also, Raj, thank you for this amazing food and gathering place.
Thank you. It's our honor.
Well, so I'm an African American male.
Are you sure?
In 1863, my great-grandfather was in a tobacco plantation. And some guy comes and says, "You're free." And he didn't believe it because he didn't want to run away and then suffer consequences. He had to hear that 2 or 3 times. And he left, started a family. But the history, the background I hear, mine starts here. And there's a disconnection. And so there's no garb that I can point to that has some significance. My background, my family, my ancestors, 23andMe, I try to identify where they came from. And it's not just my plight, it's many who are African Americans here. I'm not saying we're lost because I think God taught us all to survive. If you're here, use the talents that you have. And so you'll see all kinds of dress sometimes for people trying to create a culture, create something that they can pass on. You know, it's, as I'm hearing, it's sort of interesting realizing that we're closed similar to everybody else, and it's because there's no history.
See, I will go with my Bangladeshi Muslim brother because his statement is so authentic. Instead of me, I'm not that kind of actually a very practical Muslim. So I have no beard, I am not cover my head. So basically actually this is very culture to culture and country to country. Like Saudi Arab Muslims and people there wear a different kind of clothes. In Pakistan different, India, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Kenya, Morocco, so they have a different kind of cloth. But the mostly things that we need that you should be or must be neat and clean, you cover your body. So these things are matters. Otherwise there is not very specific orders or any specific conditions that you should wear this. But mostly you cover your body, you cover your head, your clothes will be neat and clean. That's
yeah, my brother already mentioned about the orange color, so I don't have to mention about that. But as a yogi, we usually have a prayer bead with 108 beads that related with each marma points, acupoints in our body. When you do a prayer, you focus on it, so it will activate your system. And sometimes we wear a big one, you can hold it and see. This is precious one from the Sami Bua.
But this is not 108.
This is 33. This is a special bead. Rarely you see these type of beads. This blessed by all the religious leaders, including Pope Francis. I asked him to do a prayer this way. Sami Bua gave me a gift before he died. He was 123. And he gave me a shell. You blow this shell. When you put this near your ears, you can hear the sound like a om sound. So the sound from the universe. Sometimes we blow the shell to do the prayer service.
It's a beautiful shell.
You want to hear that sound?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we could spend so much time. This was really just the beginning. And I really thank all of you for coming out, and hopefully that these conversations will continue. And when you add on this and what we're doing with the ADL, no place for hate, and what you are doing, your prayers, I believe this is an answer that we are experiencing here today. And I really want to thank all of you for coming out and spending time. And you should exchange information and visit each other's locations. What movie talks greatly about your culture? What book is great to read? What neighborhood? What restaurant? The more we know and the more we immerse ourselves into understanding, the better we will come together. No one will be able to come to you and say something negative about anyone that sits around this table, because you know firsthand based on your conversation. So, namaste, salam alaikum, check you out later.
Also, I would like to thank
Kristen.
House of worship?
Yes.
And what about your garment?
My garment? Sometimes dashiki, sometimes kufi. I'm international. All different ways.
Just I would like to thank Bamboo House and Bar for hosting such an amazing event. Thank you, Nabaraj, and your partner.
I'm Guru Dilipji. I'm from South India, called Kerala. Peace begin with me.
Hi, my name is Dr. Sheetal Desai. I am from India. I'm Hindu, and peace begins with me. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Shanti.
Hi there, my name is Qazi, and I'm from Nepal, Hindu religions. My peace begins with me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Harpreet Singh Wahan. I'm a Sikh, and Sab mein Jyot Jyot hai soe. Recognize one God in all, and recognize and realize one God in all. Thank you. Peace definitely begins with me. Thank you.
Beena Kothari. I am from Jain Faith Community. Under one God, we all are here. Peace begin with me.
My name is Felix Guzman. I represent the neighborhood of Crown Heights and the formerly incarcerated and the formerly homeless. Peace begins within, and then it cries out, and once it's heard, the change begins. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Swami Radesh Pranand. I'm from Divya Jyoti. Peace begins with you, and it starts with me.
Hi, I'm April Jones. Called Rhythm. I'm a poet, and peace begins with me.
My name is Shahid Khan, and I'm from National Youth Organization of Pakistan, Coney and Avenue, and he's with me.
Hi, my name is Mary Uter. My company is Heart to Soul Cardiac Wellness, and peace begins with me.
Hi, my name is Ken Marable. I'm the president of the Lincoln Civic Bloc Association. I also am the president of a nonprofit for youth, Diversity Awareness Initiative for Students. Peace begins with me.